Hello, I'm Jacopo, and as I do every year, I am here with a fresh analysis of the Italian real estate market and for the future of the Italian real estate market. And we will also look at the strategies to navigate this market and what I will personally do. Starting with the latest data, I will explain what will happen in 2025 and how you can position yourself. Because, and this will be no surprise to anyone, the real estate market is practically in a slowdown. The information I use comes from Istat, which is the Italian Statistical Institute, the Bank of Italy, and the Italian Fiscal Agency. Before we dive in, I remember you that my company, Valente Italian Properties, help foreign buyers to buy a property or to invest in Italy and also to sell or manage their property. So if you think we can be of some help, you can check the description below. If you want to understand the real estate market, you have to start with the economic context, which is now really important in Italy and for the real estate market. The Italian Statistic Institute report that consumer confidence is going down. So when people feel less optimistic about the future, they will save money. They will not invest, they will not spend, and this results in an economic slowdown. This can be easily understood. If you think that in the future you will gain more money from your work, you will maybe start to think about buying another property or buying a new car. If you think that in the future your situation will be worse, maybe you will start to save money and not invest or buy other stuff. If you think about this situation, but for millions of people, well, the results can be not really good. But we have to say that by the same time, the occupation rate inched up by 1%. So more occupied people, more money for the family, and maybe they can invest something. On top of this situation, we have also to remember that we are coming from a really inflation period with really high interest rates that are now start to slowing down and the inflation starts to be under control. But let's go for the main question. Are the prices going up or going down? In 2023, the prices actually goes up by 1%, and at the beginning of 2024, the trend was the same. But if you take a look about this graphic, where the blue line is the price of the houses and the red line is the number of transactions, you can see that while the prices were going up, the number of transactions was going down. Another moment in the history where we can see the same situation was in 2007-2008, before the real estate bubble burst. In fact, when you see that the prices are still going up while the number of transactions is going down, typically is not a positive sign. And in 2024, we are still having the same situation. In the first 3 months, the prices were up by 1.7%, while the number of transactions was down by 7.3%. So I'm not saying that will be a crisis in Italy, but we have to take in consideration this situation. As you can see from these red lines, real estate prices in Italy tends to be really stable, even in difficult times. And you can compare this with Europe, where the house price index were going really down after the pandemic situation and then start to grow up again. To better understand what will happen in the future, it's interesting to see what real estate agents that work in Italy think about the future of the Italian real estate market. According to a survey from the Bank of Italy, 67% of the Italian real estate agents think that the prices will remain stable in the future. The real estate brokers also say that now it's easier for buyers to get a loan, even for foreign buyers, and about 61% of the purchases in Italy are made thanks to a loan, and the average negotiation on the price that you see, the requested price, is 8.5%. So you can expect to buy property in Italy with a discount of 8.5%. But the most important indicator for the real estate market, it's not the price, it's the number of transactions. And what's happening? In 2023, the number of transactions fall down by 9.7%, totaling 709,000 houses sold. And this trend continued in 2024, falling by 7.3%. But the slowdown was not uniform across Italy. While Milan was down by 7% and Firenze by 8%, the number of transactions rose up in Rome and Genova by 3%. At this moment, we start to have a clear picture of the Italian real estate market. We see prices going slowly up, number of transactions going down, while the interest rates are going down as well. So how all this situation results in supply and demand of real estate in Italy? Idealista, one of the most important real estate platform in Italy, report a minus 4% for the number of properties available for sale, while the demand of real estate is going up. In fact, over 61% of the purchase in 2024 were made by a loan, while in 2023 they were just 41%. This means that the middle class that usually buy property with a loan is starting to buy again. This situation is actually positive for the Italian real estate market, because if the available properties for sale is going down and the demand is going up, maybe the price will start to rise again. The last piece to have the whole picture of the Italian real estate market is the affordability index. It's a measure that considers inflation, occupation, income, and interest rates to understand if for the Italian people it's easier or not easy to buy a property. If we take a look at this index, we can see that in 2023 it fell down by more than 11%. But in 2024, this index is starting to be a little better because the interest rates were down, there is more occupation by 1% compared to the previous year, and the income is starting to raise. So this means that for Italian people, it's more easier this year to buy a property. Before telling you what I will do in this context and how you should move if you want to buy a property in Italy, I suggest you to take a look at the other videos on this channel, because you can find a lot of tips and suggestions that you can use if you want to make an investment in the Italian real estate market or manage your property. So as we saw through this time together, there are some trends that you need to take in consideration. So the slowing down of the interest rates, the inflation under control, the occupancy rate going up, that can give you an idea of what the Italian real estate market will be in the future. Actually, I had a few weeks ago the opportunity to speak with an expert in UBS during a podcast, and he agreed with me that this moment is a good moment to enter the real estate market, so actually to buy or invest in a property. This is due to the fact that the real prices of the properties are down, are low, quite low, considering the real value, so taking off the inflation, while the income that you can get from a real estate property is going up really fast. So this means that you can buy for a cheaper price and rent it out for a higher income. And if you know the basic of finance, if you buy low and rent out high, it's a good investment. This is actually what I'm doing in this moment, because I bought a property in 2024 and I'm renting it out, a part for long-term rentals and a part for short-term rentals. And I'm not planning to sell in the near future. So if you don't own a property in Italy, this could be a good moment to position yourself in this market. And if you own a property, maybe you can consider to manage your property in a better way to get an higher income.